Good evening, I'm Brett Baer. President Obama came under attack from Senate Republicans today. They blame him for what they say is a $40 per tank increase in your gasoline prices since he took office. Gasoline dropped a fraction of a penny overnight. The national average now remains $3.76 a gallon. That is still up 28 cents from a month ago. The crude oil gained $1.50 overnight to close at just over $106 a barrel. Chief National Correspondent Jim Engel tells us today the president went to the politically crucial state of North Carolina, but had no new answers.
President Obama and Congress tackled the high price of gasoline today, and there were two entirely different views of the problems and its solutions. The president toured a trucking firm that uses natural gas as a fuel, arguing that only alternatives can help us because we produce too little oil to affect the price.
No quick fixes to this problem, but listening to them, you'd think there were. We've got 2% of the world oil reserves. We use 20%.
Of course, natural gas is extracted through the same process as oil, either drilling or what is known as fracking, on which the administration is considering new regulations. The president repeatedly argued that the U.S. cannot drill its way out of high prices.
Anybody who tells you otherwise either doesn't know what they're talking about or they aren't telling you the truth.
Now the Republican mantra is that we need to drill, baby, drill. This slogan may sound good, but it's based on a complete fiction.
Democrats repeatedly argued there's nothing the U.S. can do to affect global oil prices.
No matter how much we drill, our gasoline prices are going to rise if there's a crisis in the Middle East, labor unrest in Nigeria.
Many others, however, flatly dispute that. One expert says high prices are due to vastly increased demand overseas, which has not been matched by increased supply.
The reason is a mix of voracious, relentless oil demand growth in fast-growing Asia and the Middle East on the one hand, and disappointingly small net oil production growth on the other.
Too many talk like we're powerless to do anything but watch global events drive energy costs higher and that there are no solutions. Members of the committee, that's just not so.
The president, however, argues more supply isn't the answer, that we must lower demand by investing in new technologies.
That's the only solution to the challenge, because as we start using less, that lowers the demand, prices come down.
But the industry asks, why then do Democrats argue for increased supply from elsewhere?
It's others who have called on the Saudis to produce more, others who've called on other sources such as the Brazilians, and yet others who recognize supply matters by calling for release from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve.
In fact, it was the president who hooped the Saudis and Brazil to produce more. Mr. Obama clearly sees the political danger in high prices, but not enough to help American firms produce more as well. Brett.
More on this with the panel. Jim, thank you. Stocks rebounded today after big